Hey guys, Alfred here. As promised today, we'll be unboxing and having a look at the new Silverstone Redline RL01 mid-tower case. One which is definitely used a lot here at Maximum PCs, as well as for my own media server. Looking at the front of the box, we get a basic idea of how the case is going to look like. No fancy black cardboard packaging here, but that's okay because it's what's inside that counts. Flipping around to the back of the box, we can see all the features that Silverstone have listed for this case, just so you can have a quick read of it. Now let's get on to taking this little guy out and having a closer look. Starting off at the front, we get a included quiet 120mm red LED fan, which is inside here, a red backlit Silverstone logo on the front that doubles as a power button, one external 3.5 inch bay, 3 toolless 5.25 inch drive bays, and at the top here we have a headphone and microphone jack, 2 USB 3 ports, as well as a little recessed reset button. Moving on to the top, we have room for 2 120 or 140mm fans, which are not included. Flipping this over to have a look at the bottom, we have 4 rubber feet and removable mesh, which easily slides out for cleaning. There's room for another 120mm fan here, and some venting for the power supply to intake air here towards the back. Looking at that side now, we have a nice large window for showing off the goodies you'll have inside the case. On the back we have 2 thumb screws for each side panel, space for a 120mm or 80mm fan, 7 PCI expansion slots, and cutouts for your PSU and I/O here. There are also 2 grommeted holes for you to route water cooling tubes or cables through. Removing the side panel now, let's have a look at the inside. Silverstone has opted for a nicely finished black interior, no more of those boring beige and bare steel cases. We get 5 toolless 3.5 inch drive bays which are rotated 90 degrees to save space and make cabling tidier. These locks are easily removable. You just twist to take them out, slide your drive in, replace and twist again to relock, and you're good to go. Having a look at the accessories included with the case now, you get a user's manual, a large magnetic dust filter to go on top of the case, a plastic 3.5 inch hard drive adapter, some motherboard standoffs and screws. One addition in particular I wanted to show you is this small hex adapter that fits over the motherboard standoffs, allowing you to screw them in by hand. Looking at the motherboard tray now, we see a large cutout in the CPU socket area. This makes installing third-party heatsinks and water blocks very easy. This case fits standard ATX and micro ATX boards. There are some cutouts for routing power and data cables on the right here. The front USB ports use an internal style motherboard connector, which is good to see, rather than those pass-through plugs that are more commonly used. It's also nice to see nice thick black cables used here, which makes them easier to hide. On the back side panel, Silverstone has incorporated a bulge which covers most of the panel. This has been done to allow the extra room behind the motherboard tray for hiding your cables. A welcome addition here, as there's not much space here. There are dust filters on all the intake vents of this case, even behind the front panel and in the drive bays. The magnetic dust filter for the top is also a welcome addition. It also supports the latest USB 3, providing 2 easily accessible ports at the front of the case. It was nice to see Silverstone including a large window side panel on the side for a case in this price range. The rear side panel was well thought out too, with a large raised area to allow for space behind the motherboard tray, which helps for making up for the lack of routing holes inside the case. So that's my overview on the Silverstone Redline RL01. While this case is aimed at the budget end of the market compared to the rest of their lineup, it seems that they have managed to keep some of the features found on much higher end cases. I hope you enjoyed this video review. Remember to check out MaximumPCs.com.au, where this case is available as an option on our mid-range gaming 2 and high-end gaming 1 computers.